fans. It's unlike any other in sport. As both teams made their way out of the tunnel, these folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Brooks Reed in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
39, Lucy. Spread right, 72.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 6 on the run. It'll be 3rd down now with still a long way to go to get to the 1st down marker.
Shotgun now for Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10.
Great.
Shotgun now for Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, if you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On play action, it's Wentz. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard. Brandon Williams in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
go. That's it. 82, 82.
Now Wentz on third down. Going for the deep ball. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, in first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Underneath for Miller. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Here we go. Go left, go left. Let's go, let's go. 372. At 54, Ricky.
Bortles now on first down. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Mike Daniels in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Go left, go left. 372.
From the gun, it's Bortles. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 23 yards on the play.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
A first down carry now for Miller. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Lucy.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals.
Here we go. 372. Lucy. Go left.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
11B.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
Spread right. Spread right. 372. Go left. 11.
They'll go for it. It's Bortles. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Brandon Williams in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
82. Lion. Lift up. Shit. Goal.
Working from the gun, Wentz. He's going to wind up and air it out. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Great. Shorty. Black, come on. Great 15. 82. Shift. 81. Listen.
From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to let this one go deep. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
11B.
Throwing now is Bortles. It's caught. Beckham. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Brooks Reed with a tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Lucy. 372.
Bortles to throw on second down. He's going to air one out. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Baltimore after this.
Here we go. Sunday, Sunday. Lucy, Lucy. Omaha, Omaha, Omaha.
On second down, here's Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here we go. 11. Move. Go left.
From the gun on third down, Bortles. Flush to his right. This will be caught just inside the 10. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Wentz to throw on second down. They'll throw underneath for Gurley. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. The Ravens moving quickly here as the clock runs.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Porky, 82, Porky.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. To punt it away on 4th down, here's Drew Kaiser. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Spread right, 72.
Bortles now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Sunday.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. He had a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City, and it's the Panthers there out to the early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Von Miller in there for the 20th time this year as he continues what could be a record-setting season. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Black. 82.
To throw is Wentz. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
Please. Run. Shift. Hey, stand. Flick up.
They do go for it. It's Wentz. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Josh Jones. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Hey, 54, Ricky. Here we go. Lucy. Move.
Now Bortles. Got an open man. It's a noon one. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On third down, Miller. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side. I
would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter.
Let's go, let's go. 82, 82. Sunday. That's it. 81, 81. Motion. 81, 81. Stack. Listen.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle.
Black, come on.
Wentz will try again on second down. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Michael Brockers able to get him for a loss of about 3.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, third and long. Shotgun now for Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On now, Kaiser, the punter, sending it away. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Here's Bortles to throw. Complete. It's Henry. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Letting one go deep for a dude. That's caught inside the 20. And he is taken down deep in Baltimore territory. A gain of 32 that time.
Spread right, 72. Hey, let's go. Trips left. Hey, spread left. So right.
Into the red zone. It's Bortles. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
11. Hank, move. 11B.
Bortles to throw once more. Escaping the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the third quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will make our score 9-0. Same story continues. He's the only one that scored for them, their kicker, with all the points.
So now when we hear the chants of MVP, they're definitely aimed at him because he has been the only guy who's put points on the board in this game.
Kickers are always either the hero or the GOAT. So far, he's definitely the hero. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Throwing now is Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Von Miller in there for sack number 22 on the year. Just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
Here we go. 120.
On play action, it's Wentz. Looking long for Thomas. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rashaan Melvin. Thomas, the intended target. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. Steps away to his left. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Left side here to Sanders. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Bortles now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Bortles. Underneath for Miller. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Lucy. Move.
Now Bortles again. Henry's got it out on the left side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
11. Check. Green 80, 72. Green set.
Again, they'll throw with Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This will be taken very short. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Josh Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
372. 11B. Check. Green 80. 11. Green is good.
Bortles now on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
11B. Green is set.
Now Bortles. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's first and goal.
Hey, 54, Ricky.
They come out here in the eye.
So right, so right. Okay, move. Okay. Lucy. Sunday. 72.
Throwing now is Bortles. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Lamar Miller with touchdown number 8 on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Bengals offense cashes in with 6. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be taken short. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Again, they run with Gurley. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Wentz now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Hey, stack. What's your son? Lefty. Two jet.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. He's gonna let it fly, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his 11th touchdown of the year, and the Ravens get a bit closer. Extra point up and through by Myers, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Here's Myers now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Lucy.
Bortles going to throw here. And his throw is incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
So right. 372. Shut. Green 80. Hank. Green is good.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. He finds Beckham complete. Odell Beckham Jr. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point try good by Gano. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken very short. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
82.
Wentz to throw on second down. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Wentz now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
There we go. That's it. 180. Be ready. Listen. Great 15.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
Move. Hey, 54, Ricky.
Bortles going to look to throw. Sanders shaking and baking. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. A road win in the National.